You know, when the spaceship's taking off, they want to hear the countdown and I've got my hyperspheroidal potentiometer set to 12. What do you have yours set on, Brandon?
35.
I just said I had a football that I tuned up to 12. That's what a hyperspheroidal is. Football.
You fell for it? Come on, you're a man.
Garrett Andrich is not with us. He's having open heart surgery.
Mm-hmm. We wish
but he'll be back
him well.
Tuesday. He'll be back Tuesday after open heart surgery.
Speedy recovery.
Well, he doesn't have that good of an insurance policy. They want you out of there as fast as you can. Get you out there. I've always thought that was odd. Hey, he was up and around in like a day and a half thinking, when I go in the hospital, I like to stick around a while. Make
right?
sure whatever
Milk
they put in.
everything it's worth.
Yeah.
As much help as you can get.
Years ago, I had my knee cut on when I was a kid, and they just, it was called a zipper. They just took everything out, and they didn't fix anything. They didn't. They took the cartilage out, which they don't do anymore, which is a padding, and they would take the ACL, which is the ligament that actually holds your knee, steady or whatever, and they just whatever was left, they take it out. And so your knee just wobbled. It was fixed because I guess the shards weren't in there and the bone spurs or whatever. And then the surgeries got better. And so I decided to have this surgery where they put Achilles tendons in both my knees, and it was revolutionary. They had been putting a piece of your thigh or whatever and all of that. And I followed these two guys around. One was a basketball player named Ed O'Bannon, who played at UCLA, who's now suing the NCAA because they used his image in video games. And then this overweight TV writer that didn't do any exercise. And for 3 months, I called them and asked them how the Achilles tendon was doing. They said it was great. They have a dead person's Achilles tendon. They drill a couple holes and it replaces you. So I had that done. And I go into this kind of modern hospital, and they check me in, and they're doing all of this, modern hospital stuff and all this. And they go, listen, we don't just have regular old food here. We have Chef Michael, and Chef Michael will make you really good since you don't have you can eat anything because of your surgery. And I went, you're kidding me. And so I'm in this room that has an easy chair and a bed, and it's this, a frou-frou place. And I'm going to get my knee cut on, right? Voluntary surgery. And so about 5 o'clock, this guy comes in with a La Toque on, that hat that chefs wear? And it was Chef Michael. And he said, I'm this and that and the other. And I said, man, this is unbelievable. And he said, what would you like to eat tonight? Like, we have a pork chop.
Unbelievable.
And I know. When that food came that night, it was the same hospital shit that you would normally eat.
What do you expect from a hospitals, G?
That's exactly right, Ira.
That's right. That's right.
They had Chef Michael. They went through all of this bullshit, and it was canned peas that were flavorless, and it was a pork chop that was overcooked, and there was no salt and pepper, and it was,
thinking, Big Star J. Thomas getting the work.
No, it wasn't because of me.
Services. No, I know, but, like dabble it up a little bit because it's you.
He came with a hat.
I know.
Chef Michael. And I tell you what it was. It was the North Hollywood Hospital. And a few years later, I drove by. It was closed. It's not even, not even open anymore. Chef Michael. So, Ira, Shuli's not here today.
I know he isn't. I don't see him. Maybe he's invisible.
Oh, no, his circumcision grew back. And I understand they're having it re-removed.
Maybe he's cutting it off.
No. It grew back. The skin grew back. Yes. And so he's having it,
It's a good decision on his part to have it removed again, in my
having
opinion.
it dealt with.
Jay.
Yes, sir.
I have regards for you.
Oh.
Really? From who?
Somebody from the Friars Club.
That old comic used to be an old comedians club. Now it's just an old person club of guys that think they're funny. Who
Freddie Roman.
Oh, my God. I know who that is. That's an old...
Oh, yes. He was at
old comic.
Jewish Heritage at DC 37 last
Wow.
night.
Wow.
19th Annual Jewish Heritage.
Now, tell me what the
is
food was.
Funny.
What was the food?
They had frankfurters. They had barley. They had
Barley.
chicken.
Wait a minute, they had barley?
Yeah, barley. Like brown rice, but barley.
Barley.
Yes.
They had barley.
Was there a sauce on it?
No sauce.
Okay.
They had frankfurters.
They had barley on it.
Yeah, they had chicken.
Of course.
Beautiful baked chicken. Delicious. Corned beef, a salami, and turkey. Turkey breast.
You know, I apologize. I wasn't listening that closely. I just saw that Bruce Willis's daughter is doing some sort of a protest. Her name is Scout. Doesn't he have Rumor? One's Rumor.
He's got Rumor, yeah.
Rumor. And the other one is Scout. Scout is lovely. Is her mother Demi Moore?
Yes.
Wow. She is walking around. What town is she walking around topless?
Let me see here.
Where is this?
Down the streets of New York. I don't know what.
Oh, because you can be topless.
Yes.
We've had those people on.
There's a hashtag
if a guy
involved,
can take
free
his
the
shirt
nipple.
off.
Hashtag free the nipple if anybody wants to go on
Hashtag free the
Twitter or
nipple.
Instagram. Yep. She's tweeting the pics
Brandon?
out.
Yes.
Brandon, we don't have the regular testosterone crew here, so you're going to have to fill in. You need to look
No problem.
immediately at Scout Willis's breast and body and see if you agree with me, how luscious she is, and how would you feel if all women in the summertime decided to just go topless? Would you eventually get used to it? Just take a look at that.
All right, hold on
Ira,
a second.
would you get used to it? You know, you
yeah,
can take your shirt
Jay,
off if you want. Yes,
some of
you
the
would-
women outside are wearing short dresses. You could look up
Really?
their panties.
No, you can't. Oh, you're crazy. You're a dirty old man. Well, what are you going to see up there if you look up their panties?
Everything.
Oh, no, you're not.
All right, Brandon,
Oh, you
what's the
should-
verdict?
Yeah, what's the verdict?
The big black line covering her tits sucks.
Oh, no, you don't have the one with her tits?
That's the only one she just showed me.
Hold on.
Oh, I'll have to send it. We'll go to break. And it's worth going to break to send it to you.
Hold on, I'm looking
Wow,
now.
you're kidding, right? No, I have it. I have the whole thing.
But no, I don't think I would ever get used to it.
You know, it is weird, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
There we go. Uncensored naked pics.
Yeah, there it is. I know it's legal and all of that. I think it's kind of fun, Christina, that there are parts of the body. I mean, look, a guy told me the other
They
day
are
that,
nice, yes.
Yeah, they are really nice.
saw it.
she's
Look at her.
lovely, right?
Yeah.
So the one I have of her is she's in like a little sarong,
Yes.
and she's going to a
Yep.
fruit stand and she's buying some melons.
Wind's like blowing her skirt.
Wind's blowing
She
her
has
skirt.
beautiful
Now,
legs, too.
is she buying melons, or I would say her breasts are more avocadoc?
Oh, okay, I see.
You ever
where
heard
you're
that term before? Avocadoc.
No, it's new to me, but I can totally see where you're going with it. The shape is very
Yeah.
avocadoc.
Yeah,
Nipples
she
a
has
little
kinda
off-center.
avocados. Her nipples are off center.
Well, that's just
little
the.
bit.
I think that's just the way because she's walking, Brandon. You have to give that,
all right.
some-
Right. Now
She's
I've told
sashaying, if you will.
when you're lucky enough, Brandon, every now and again, to get a date with somebody that's way past more beautiful than you ever had a girl go out with. Mm-hmm. And I did it years ago. Somebody get me a date with a model or something, and they were a real model, like you see them in magazines or. And so they're beautiful. You're not beautiful, right? And so what I would always do, and you just did something that I'm now going to put into my little computer. You have to figure out a way to level them off. So they're beautiful, and you're not, and you're sitting there. And so you sit down with them, and you're having a conversation, and you're having a good time with them. And I would look and go, and they go, "What is it?" I go, "I don't know. Is one of your eyes a little lower than the other?"
Oh.
I would you just pick out one. I mean, nothing, hardly anything. Or you'd say like, I think your right earlobe is a little lower than your left, like that. Well, now it's taken this beautiful woman that's perfect and got her thinking about her looks a little bit, right? And now she's down with you. You just did a great thing. This gorgeous girl takes her clothes off, gorgeous, and your body is nowhere near for a man as gorgeous as her body is.
Debatable.
And you're
that's
kissing
debatable.
her.
Brandon's got it going on.
You rub her stomach. You make out with her. She's gorgeous. You're a little insecure, and when you push your two hands up and you look at her and you kiss her and you kiss her and you look down at her breasts and you kiss her and then you go, "Hey, I think one of your nipples is a little off center."
You're such an evil mind.
No.
Yeah, no.
Now you've given me a sexual evener outer. Thank you. Not that I'm going to be doing it anytime soon. My wife, sadly, had the breasts taken off because of the cancer and didn't want to have nipples. So my wife has no nipples.
Is that weird for you?
It was odd in the beginning, but, my wife is like, do you, I've told the story a million times. Do you care about nipples? I said, I don't care. I'm glad you're alive. Mm-hmm. And we were with the plastic surgeon that sadly died of a heroin overdose in a hooker's apartment in Stamford, Connecticut. Can you believe that? Our plastic surgeon? Yeah, it's true. Yeah, true. Bankrupt his family and everything. He got hooked on drugs. He was fantastic. And we go into his office and we're looking at, this is a sad thing, getting new breasts, but, my wife was going to live. We're looking through the booklet of these gorgeous women and their breasts and how he had fixed them and everything else. And we're looking at it like medicinally, right? And I'm sitting there looking at it. And so I said, well, my wife doesn't care about nipples, but how would you make it? He says, well, we cut a little of her labia off because it has the same consistency of a nipple, and they shape it into like a little eraser head kind of a thing. And I said, oh, really? And then he said, and then we tattoo the areola.
Get out of town.
And I said, so you make a little piece of the you call it labia or labia? Labia? What do you call it? Labia. And he said, yeah, just a little snip of the skin.
Would she feel sensation?
Well, it might be a little discomfort, but not much, No,
I mean, like, if you're playing with her nipples, would they get hard?
No.
No, right? Okay.
No, but here's the weird thing. I said to the doctor, if you did it that way, where you used a little piece of the labia meat, it would save me a trip. So I could stop right at the tits. Now, let me tell you what. My wife is there.
Keep it connected.
My wife is there, who's just gone through, incredible chemotherapy and radiation, and she has no breast and everything else, and she's bald-headed. And then there's this doctor, very seriously, showing me just reams of tits and navels and everything else. And then he looks at me and he goes, I've never heard anything like that before. I went, well, I just, it's kind of funny. You can use it later if you want.
Thought I'd lighten the mood.
Yeah. You can have it later. You know what's funny? Maybe he went and started doing heroin that night.
You're the reason for his heroin addiction?
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's another thing you can do. So, for me, I can look at my wife and go, holy shit, you don't have any nipples at all. Kind of level her out. She's much more attractive. My wife's an attractive woman, and I think as I've gotten older, I've gotten uglier, and it's sad. I feel bad for her.
Yeah, well,
I feel badly.
Yeah, but no,
because you know what? I wouldn't
nicely.
stay with an ugly one. I wouldn't have stayed with a fat ugly one.
Your
I'd have
wife
left
is
them.
beautiful, but you've aged
She
nicely.
is.
I mean, you're.
Well, I've aged all right, but I've been looking in the mirror.
If you're weighing the scales, you're all right.
Yeah. I'll tell you something unusual.
You dress nicely. She dresses you, but you dress nicely.
I go into this little coffee shop today. Someone said, why don't you ever say a brand name? Why don't you ever say Starbucks or Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf or Pete's or whatever? And I'll tell you why. Well, one, they're not paying me, but two, I think Starbucks is overdone. I was the Coffee Bean in the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf commercials, and they fired me, so I don't like them. Mm-hmm. And then I think P-E-E-T, Pete, is a stupid name, so don't say Pete's. That's another coffee thing. And coffee shop, you go in a little coffee shop, you get an espresso, and it's $2. You go to Starbucks, and it's $5. I think that's wrong. I was in a Starbucks the other day. This is how many of them there are. I went to the bathroom, and right by the bathroom, they were building another Starbucks.
Booyah!
That's the first time that joke ever got a laugh? Ever. I've tried that joke for 15 years. I've never laughed at it before. Good evening.
Jay, there's another restaurant, chock full of nuts.
chock full of nuts. Do they still have chock full of nuts?
Yes, on 23rd Street.
They just sell that in stores.
6th and 7th Avenue.
They hired me to play the nuts, and they fired me, so I don't want to go in there either. So I walk in, and I see kind of an effeminate-looking guy with a really attractive brunette, and the guy has his leg over the woman's leg, and it was I'm looking, and then I look, and it's a really attractive woman with short hair. I'm going to tell you right now, she was a female version of Brad Pitt, except she was a lesbian and had this really beautiful skin, these piercing blue eyes, and this kind of short haircut, right? I mean, she was more masculine looking than Justin Bieber.
Right.
And yet she was beautiful. The woman she was with was really beautiful also, but she looked like a complete woman, and I guess they were lesbians. I looked at that, and I thought, what must it be like? You wake up, you're this beautiful woman. You've been given a great body and everything else. And God or somebody has made you not like men. It's just so... I would have flipped this lesbian over and I would have made love to her like she's never had love.
What if she was walking down the street without a shirt?
If she said, call me Ed, I'd have called her Ed while I made love to her. If she wants to be a man, Ed, call me Ed. I would have done it. And I look at that and I listen. I know that, this gay thing and the transsexuals and all. I know we have to accept it, but you've got to admit, it must. I mean, if I woke up tomorrow and just needed to suck a penis, I would go, wow, what the hell happened? What is going on?
I don't think
what I mean?
It's wake up in the next day and just realize you want to suck a penis. I think it's
Well, I don't think you've ever awakened and thought that either. So that's true.
Well, it is a job, and I'm not getting paid for it. So,
well, the thing is that I've said this before. People said, "Well, what would you do if you were gay?" I would be one of those gay guys that had a family and would be gay on the weekends, and then after I'd have sex with a guy, I would kill him. And you know what? I would probably kill 15, 20 different people. Because I would just want to be gay on the weekend and then have a normal life so I didn't have to deal with it.
When I was in college, I worked for a camp, and at the end of the summer, it turned into a gay nudist camp. And the majority of...
This was your job? Wait a second.
Yes.
This was your job?
Yes. I worked in the kitchen with the ex-cons.
It sounds like an Adam Sandler movie, doesn't it?
But I worked... So there's this gay nudist camp, and you... basically tell your wife that you're going on a retreat or a meeting, out of town for business, and there's secretaries set up that will answer as if they're, staying at this resort or something along those lines.
They just wrote about this in the New York, one of the New York magazines, and for years and years, these men would go once or twice a year. Mm-hmm. You're right. And they just wrote about it. You worked there?
Yeah, I worked in the kitchen. If you're a female, you only work in the kitchen or you work as a secretary, but you're not like a lifeguard or anything like that. They want those for the
Were you ever
men.
Serving breakfast and you got cream of wheat in someone's balls?
What I thought was cream of wheat.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No, yeah, but it was pretty crazy. And, they get there, they decorate the cabins. There's a lot of ass play by the pool. It's very...
Come on.
I swear. What do you mean, come on? That's what they're there for. And
did they have sex out in the open? Did they have
a lot
sex
of
out
times.
in the open?
It was out in the Pennsylvania mountains, so there's a lot of freedom there. You can't really, you're in the woods. But, and their wives would call up and they'd be like, I'm sorry, he's in a meeting right now. Can I take a message?
Would you ever come out of the kitchen sometimes and be having a cigarette in the back and watch two guys off by the side of the pool banging
I saw
and
some
you just
stuff.
keep smoking your cigarette?
Yeah, I mean, I saw, after a while, you don't even really see it anymore. It's just life as you know it.
Wow.
Brandon's
being very quiet. He's probably going to ask you next.
Now.
What's the exact address of this place? No, but I was just
Are you asking for Brandon, or are you?
Well, Brandon's, I think the jury is out on whether Brandon likes men or women.
What's that?
What is?
What did the jury say?
What did Jerry say?
The jury.
The jury. Oh, it's
Did
out.
you think it was
the
a
jury is out.
Flip?
there's some talk that you actually shave your chest hairs, which I do also, but I've established myself as a heterosexual. So
he's a metrosexual. Jay Thomas is a metrosexual.
Is he?
Yeah.
You touch your eyebrows?
I do. Every now and again.
Yeah, that's weird.
I do. Hey, by the way, this is happy news. Southwest Airlines is paying about a $200,000 fine for false advertising, deceptive advertising. You know, have you ever seen their ads, $59 for these flights?
Yes.
Right. So I come down south all the time, and I fly to New York too, and Southwest flies everywhere I want to go. And I'm on the internet at 2:00 in the morning, and this deal comes up, $69, and I hurry up and go to get even if I don't even know I'm taking a trip that day, I just want to get a $69 one-way someplace.
Right.
Gone as soon as I get there. Gone. Or it's between San Jose and Albuquerque. And if that's your route, I don't want to even be in the plane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be with people from San Jose going to Albuquerque or back. It's not even to Vegas. It's to know where you want to go. Mm-hmm. It'll be from Ontario, California to Redlands, California. Okay?
Okay.
When I hear Redlands, I think when you get off the plane, an Apache meets you at the gate, welcoming you to the Redlands, right? And so now, I didn't see the whole story, but bring it up and look at it. I only think they fined them $200,000.
$200,000, yeah.
You know what's weird also? When the credit card, Capital One did this, remember? They charge you 7 or 8%, or no percentage for the first year, and then 7 or 8 for the second year, and whatever.
Yep.
You know what they charge now? They charge like 28% or 18 or 20 or whatever it is. It's so strange. They're gonna make billions of dollars anyway. Southwest is gonna make it.
Yep.
The credit card company. If all of us got money and we opened a credit card company and we only charged 12% tops, we would beat every other credit card company by 6 to 10 or 15%. And there this was what Capital One did.
My credit card is maxed because of the interest. I don't even use it anymore, but the interest is.
What is it 21%?
Yeah, it's like $120 a month or something like that. It's crazy.
So if you were given a credit card that would never go higher than 10, 12%, you'd go for it, right?
Of course I would.
Of course I would too. And that credit card at 12% of millions and millions and millions of dollars would make millions of dollars for the company. You could do it online. You could keep, and yet they're all sitting around a room and they go, okay, we got them all. Let's fuck them now.
Yeah,
I don't understand that. Like
and
at
then
Southwest,
they're wiping
they go,
their ass with $100
put
bills.
$59 and don't let them know it's from Ontario to Redlands. And the guy goes on and he tries to go from Las Vegas to New York, and it's $300, and he's already on the site, so he'll buy the ticket. Mm-hmm. He'll buy the ticket, and they're going to make millions of dollars anyway. To me, I'd like to see them. I'd like to see the guy from Southwest Airlines in handcuffs. I love when they do the perp walk. I mean, the consumer gets fucked constantly, and they have to have a meeting about it. They've got to sit and go, look, they're so stupid. They're such assholes.
Yeah.
And people say, why do you think most bosses are assholes? And I this is how I feel. Like, I'm a strange guy, right? So let's say I have interviews. And, Christina, you come in for an interview, right?
Right.
I interview you. Ira comes in for an interview.
That's right, and I get the job.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
Brandon would come in for the interview.
Yes.
Who was answering the phones back there?
Britain.
Britain. Oh, the one named for the continent, for the island, for the whole thing? Yeah. What's your sister's name? Slovakia? The J. Thomas humor just doesn't stop. And And I would hire Ira, and you would all go, can you believe he hired the crazy old That's because I'm an odd guy. When an asshole interviews people, and an asshole meets another asshole in an interview, they think they're normal. Haven't you ever wondered, Brandon, why there will be a boss or something who's an idiot, and then they'll hire someone and they're an idiot also, and they actually start getting power, and you go, I can't believe it. They hired another idiot.
Yes, I've definitely seen that. Trust me.
That's because of an idiot is in the interview process, and another idiot comes. Like, I knew a woman that blinked, which I hate. I hate people that blink. And you want to say to them, look, your parents or somebody did something to you, and you blink while I'm talking to you. You got to stop. Do you notice that it goes dark every 4 seconds? It's weird. Okay, stop blinking. Right. She hired a guy that didn't blink, but that brushed an imaginary piece of lint off of his shoulder every 4 or 5 minutes. She blinked. She hires an assistant, and the guy goes like this. He blew an imaginary piece of lint off of his shoulder every 4 or 5 minutes. And one day he was wearing a leather jacket, and he brushed his shoulder, and I said to him, hey, I don't know if you know this about leather or not, but leather doesn't get lint on it. And he went, what? Wow. I said, leather. I noticed you was doing something there. So, well, I thought I saw something. I said, yeah, I think it was a booger. It's a big booger on your jacket. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not going to let you blink, have a twitch, or rub your shoulder. A person walks in with one arm. Nobody says anything. I have got to know what happened to their arm. Before the end of the...
he could have fallen.
Thank you. I need to know. And my wife goes...
Oh, he talks
No, here's
to
what happened.
Everybody.
My wife will go like this. Okay, look, we're going to this party tonight, and Mary's husband only has one arm.
Don't address
I go, okay. I go, what happened? She says, I don't know, but Mary's never said anything about it. His name is Eddie. Eddie's never said anything about it. Please. I don't think they want to talk about it. I go, so we're going to go to a party with a guy with one arm, and no one in the room knows why he has one arm. And she goes, Jay, you know what? She does it. You're not on the radio, okay? We're going to a nice thing tonight, and don't start any shit. And I go, let me tell you, I'm not starting shit. I'm going to get some information that you're going to appreciate. Okay? And before that party is over, I'll stroll over to Eddie and I'll make pals with him and drink with him and stuff. And then at a convenient time, I'll say, hey, you look great and everything else. You lose your arm.
Yeah, you'll charm your way right into his sleep.
And he'll tell me.
No doubt about that.
I thought you were going to say that's how you introduce yourself.
No, he'll tell me. And he'll say, oh, people are afraid to ask me that. They say that to me. I go, real. One guy told me that he was raised in Iowa, and he was on one of these big hay baler things when he was about 14, and he fell off the back of the hay baler, and he chopped his arm off. Now, from across the room, you hear me go like this, oh, no! And my wife goes, oh, fuck, he asked that guy about his fucking arm. He asked that guy about his fucking arm, and now he's reacting to it. Yeah. And then I say, you were 14. Were you like, what was happening? Well, I was riding the thing I shouldn't have been. And it chopped it completely off. And I go like, could they find it? He goes, no, because the thing was like, making seeds. And it's like, oh, God. Oh, God. I had a guy one time tell me about losing a hand, but his cousin had smothered to death in a silo. A grain silo. Mm-hmm. Do you know people fall in there and smother to death all the time, cleaning them out? Jeez. I learned this at parties that I've gone to with people who are missing digits and parts of their body. Does my wife know any of this? No. My favorite is if they have one eye. That's a tough one. Sometimes it's a tumor, and they think they've... You ever see him with an eye that's really a lot bigger than the other eye?
Yeah.
That's because the guy has diabetes.
That's another one. Thank you. Or how about this one, Ira? Have you ever heard of Graves' disease?
Grave disease when they're dying.
No. It makes their eyes poke out like George H.W. Bush's wife, the woman that looks like George Washington.
Yes.
Guys.
Aren't you ever concerned that you're going to trigger a really sad memory in the middle of a party?
I was talking to a guy recently and talking about my taste buds or something not being back. Mm-hmm. And I don't know this guy. And before it was over, he's crying and I'm hugging him and I'm picking a buddy of mine up. He goes, "What are you doing? What happened?"
Hello? Still there?
Oh.
All right, we dropped him. We'll be back.
Go to break.
Your name is
Jay Thomas.
Jay Thomas.
Howard 101.
People. All right. Apparently, I was just starting to tell one of my boring fucking stories. And we went off the air because there's a huge storm here in Louisiana at the Mike Church Studios. A complete drought. I arrive to relax for like a month. And walk into my home, which looked fabulous, and within a matter of minutes, hundreds of termites swarmed me, attacked me, covered. I'm not joking. Termites everywhere when you turn the lights on. It was horrible.
It was they were in your hair, you said. They were in your hair.
When I woke up, they were in my hair. They were every place. I had to call the guy, and I pay $300 a year to have a termite service, right? So I'm thinking, how is this guy going to explain that I have termites? And they go, well, those are the swarming termites. Mm-hmm. You bought the thing against the subterranean termite. I go, what do you mean? You didn't buy the thing to stop the swarming termites.
Oh, come on.
You don't have termites from the ground, subterranean. I go, you're telling me that the termites that were flying... He says those are swarmers. This is like the credit card company.
Exactly. Everybody in life is here to fuck you over.
Yeah, everybody.
I know.
So now it's going to cost me a couple of grand because it ate, the wall and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, he's coming tomorrow morning and talk about it. The pest control guy. And he's the kind of guy who drives around in a truck with a big spider on top of it.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
Of course.
Can you imagine that's your life driving around with a big spider on top of your car?
I mean, I'd be more
you think that's
concerned
normal?
With having to kill whatever.
Yeah, right.
Varmint.
Let's welcome Eric Pavone. Is it Pavone or Pavoni? How do you say it?
Yeah, it's Pavoni.
It's Pavoni. Welcome. Where are you from, Eric?
I am from Brooklyn, New York.
Whoop, whoop.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so one of my favorite games when I was a kid, and even now, and when I used to bring my kids to the the little indoor amusement park. What do you call those things? Game places? I don't know. What do you call them?
Arcades?
Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, that's right. Arcade is good. That's good. Good thing. That's also where you go to meet underage boys. Did you know that, Eric?
I was once one of those underage boys, I think.
That was hit on by a guy at an arcade?
No, I think you hit on me once, actually.
No. But you know what? When my kids were little, we used to go to the arcade, and it was always like kind of a creepy, overweight guy who was too old to be there playing the games and giving these kids quarters and stuff.
Yep.
Apparently, some boys will allow their penises to be sucked for a roll of quarters. Huh?
Good to know.
Let's just let that sit in for a moment, everybody.
Good to know. Why am I here again?
Eric Pavone.
What's going on?
Pavoni. How is it? Pavoni?
Yeah.
Pavoni. My computer is down, and the long, the little slash over the E is not coming up.
It's like rice-a-roni.
Yeah. That's a good one, too. So Eric Pavoni is here, and one of the most favorite games is skee ball, where you throw the balls, and then there's the numbered holes, 100 or 50 or 20 or the gutter, and then the tickets come out. And you get like 800 tickets, and you go up to the desk, and they give you a whistle. That's my favorite. They have giant, fabulous stuffed animals, and, they have guitars and televisions, and you have like 800 tickets.
Lava lamps.
Oh, here's a whistle. Or here's a sock monkey, something like that, right?
Pencil top eraser is my favorite.
What's the most you've ever won skee ball tickets, ever?
Oh, man. I used to be
really good at it?
I used to be pretty good. Well, we don't play for tickets anymore. We play for, cold hard quiche.
You have dedicated your life to turning this into a professional thing. Tell us what your plan. First of all, you were sent a cease and desist by the skee ball people. What were you doing? Were you doing something that was ruining the reputation of skee ball, and so they turned on you? What happened?
Yeah, no, it was quite the opposite. I think we were doing something that was extremely beneficial to their company. These guys, sold skee ball lanes, and we were opening up new markets and new demographics for the game. In what way were you doing it? You made a professional
right. League?
For one, we started putting skee ball lanes into bars, and we turned it into a social competitive activity for adults. And there's nothing better, Jay, than grabbing a few beers with your buddies and rolling skee ball. And we made that a thing. And on top of that, we actually turned it into a bona fide competitive sport, with strategy and terminology and teams, just like any other sport, man.
Now, you know what's great about skee ball? If you're drunk, stoned, coked up, on speed or on downers, it's there for you. You can either throw the balls really fast if you're on coke. You can kind of miss a little bit if you're drunk, but you still will get some points. If you're stoned on pot, you kind of care or don't care, but you take your time. You know what I'm saying?
When you're stoned on pot, you get more chances because it just rolls back in your face.
You were doing this in arcades, though, next to little boys. That's where it gets weird.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, but years ago when I was so now the idiots at Skee Ball, is it called Skee Ball Incorporated? What's the name of their company?
Yeah, Skee Ball Inc.
Skee Ball Inc. They don't see the value of putting skee ball into bars and letting millennials play this new game.
It's pretty obvious value to me. I mean, we actually had a meeting, Jay, with the CEO of Skee Ball Inc. back in 2005. We went to his offices in Pennsylvania. We sat in his office and we explained to him our vision for the future of competitive skee ball, for the future of skee ball lanes thriving in bars. And we asked him to partner up with us, and I don't think he really got it. And what he did say to us then was, hey, I'm a manufacturer of new skee ball lanes. We don't get in bed with promotions. We don't get in bed with vendors. He wished us good luck. And I said, we have a witty name for the league. We'd like to call it Brewski Ball. And he chuckled a bit and said, yeah, go for it. And so we got out of his office and literally got the ball rolling. And 6 years later, after our first national championship, we were in ESPN, the magazine. And, to be honest, if you're trying to validate anything as a professional sport, you want to be in ESPN, the magazine. We were there. We were in NPR, New York Times, and then all of a sudden, Skee Ball Inc.'s licensing company, 6 years after we got their blessing, got involved, and basically said, the good times got to stop rolling, and it just all went downhill from there.
Now, can you buy? No, wait a second. That you were buying it from them, right? Well, can't you use it any way you want to use it once you buy it?
You would think so. I mean, they manufacture skee ball lanes with the knowledge that they're selling them to people who are then going to put them in their venues to try to get customers to throw some coins or some dollar bills in there, right? I mean, that's sort of the dynamic. So,
right.
Yeah, we were vendors just like anybody else. We happened to have the idea to wrap around the skee ball lane for the first time this competitive concept, which I think got people, young adults, not just kids. I mean, we took an old-timey child's game that, like you said, lived in arcades, which, was a dying industry with all these apps coming out and whatnot, and we put it into a bar. And we brought it.
Did you make the ball, did you paint it so it looked like a breast rolling up the thing or something? Did it have like a picture of a nipple on it?
No, man.
Did you do,
I don't know. Cute girls.
We
didn't have to do that. They were cute girls that rolled. And I mean, listen, one of the great things.
Did anybody ever vomit into one of the holes and get 75 points? I'm trying to figure out what, to me, I have a funny feeling that the head of skee ball, the head of he may be very religious, and he may think that it's purely a family game, and that if you put it into bars, it's going to hurt the image of the skee ball. I'm not joking.
Right. Well, let me check this out. So, if you went to a casino a very, one across the country. I think Bally's has them. They have skee ball slot machines with the skee ball name and logo there. There are state lottery tickets that are skee ball scratch off.
Soldiers on the ground in Africa, putting them on the ground in Ukraine.
Africa. There's skee ball in Africa too.
What was that?
That was coming from you.
I know. You know
I
what?
didn't see any skee balls.
Well, no. I was listening to Eric, and I was watching CNN at the same time.
Obama.
So the bottom line is that they're already in Dave and Buster's and obviously.
So are you screwed now? Is it over? Is it over now?
No, hell no. We are fighting back.
We have you here in the studio. I'm ready to promote the skee ball championship. When I come back to town, I'd like to go play skee ball and everything else. So they've told you what? Don't put it in bars anymore? They can't tell you that.
Well, they sued us and said that our Brewski Ball trademark, which we own, infringes upon their skee ball trademark. We said to them that, and they also told us that they don't want us calling the game skee ball. And we said, very simply, what else would you call it? What else would you call skee ball except skee ball? And the answer is there's nothing that you can tell to a buddy, hey, you want to go play some... What?
How about this one? Roll ball for points.
Yeah. I mean...
there are a lot of people that have said within a matter of seconds you're able to think of a name of something that just works. And that was, I think, pretty clear just now. Roll ball for points.
Yeah. Well, the concept...
Yes, what is it?
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on one second.
That's the weatherman.
I went, I played in Coney Island skee ball.
Oh, you did?
You have roll the ball up, and you get a...
Really?
So 150, 100...
the microphone's other way.
In the middle...
What did you do with the tickets? Did you win the tickets?
I won the tickets.
And what did you get? They had the big teddy bears and all, then they screw you out of...
They gave a gum and other things.
Yeah, they give you nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
But would you like to win money, Ira?
Let me explain to you. It's a fun game.
Yes,
Wouldn't it be more fun if you could win money?
Oh, it would be.
Of course it would be. He's a big gambler, our weatherman.
So, boy, I tell you what, I have you in here. We're all ready. Sirius was going to put some real promotional dollars behind this thing, and we were ready to launch. And now these skee ball people, I tell you what we need to do. There needs to be a little fire over at the skee ball office.
Uh-oh.
I mean, hey. Your last name is Baloney. Hold it. And my maiden name is Gazzino. I mean, I know how this works. There needs to be a little crackling, sound, How about this? Hello? Skee ball. Fire! Oh my God, fire! I want fire!
The one time we need Ira.
The president of skee ball was burned to death yesterday. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
What?
No.
Hey, Jay, you know what you...
What are we going to do, Eric? What are we going to do?
Well, we started, it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to see something like this through. We really believe that there is no way to say skee ball except skee ball. So we're now in federal court, and we are...
No.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is big time. We've been doing this...
Skee ball is in federal court?
Yep. We're not backing down, man. Most small businesses like us at this point would usually crumble, and, they're really trying to just bleed us dry of cash, and they've done a pretty good job of it so far. It's been 3 years and counting. This thing's been going on. And we're going to try to see this through, and we're using the weapons at our disposal today in 2014, like social media and crowdfunding. We started a campaign called Ski the People, and the idea is to ensure that skee ball is for all.
Is it SKEE? Isn't it spelled that way?
Correct. Yes. Yep. And
this is what I would do to you. This is what I would tell you to do.
What's up?
Get a naked guy with a huge penis and have him putting his penis into one of the holes of the skee ball machine and send that to the president.
He's in a weird mood today.
I got to talk to my PR team.
No, wait a minute. No. You don't, and say, and pick out a little place and say they took the picture at some children's amusement little place. Have a naked guy bending over and taking a dump into one of the number 50 hole or something like that. And just start sending, pictures like that to the president. Just
nod and smile. That's what I always do when he has these brilliant ideas. I just nod and smile.
You know what? Have a one-armed guy playing skee ball with the caption, "I wish I could turn pro." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a great game for one-armed people.
Yeah, all you need is one arm.
I would go definitely to the Persons for Better Disability. First of all, you're in a wheelchair. How many games can you really play? Skee ball is one of the biggest wheelchair games ever. One-armed people, skee ball. If you're one-legged, you could lean on your crutch and skee ball. Okay? So I would get a group behind you that will destroy skee ball's reputation if they don't stop it. Handicap.
I appreciate those ideas. Or
blind. If you are blind, you can play skee ball because your sighted partner or your dog. Watch this.
You're on a roll today, Jay.
The thing goes into the 20, and your seeing eye dog goes, hoop, hoop. That's 2. That's 20. Watch this. And the blind person goes like that. It goes into the gutter, and the dog goes, oh.
I believe we call that a skiing eye dog.
No.
There you go. It goes into the 100, and the dog goes, oh, 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 oh. Look, you need to really start a campaign before you finish there in federal court.
We did. It's called Ski the People, and those are all good ideas.
Ski the People. They better be handicapped. You're not listening to me.
Well, you can go online and you could donate and help us raise some money so we could do this thing in federal court. You know?
All right. Ski the People. And if you happen to be one-armed, one-legged, if you're blind, if you have a dog, and you're near one of these skee ball machines, take selfies of yourself as a handicapped person playing skee ball.
What's the hashtag?
And send it in to us.
Hashtag Ski the People.
No, hashtag I'm missing an arm, but I'm still playing.
Lost my arm in skee ball.
Yeah. Oh, that's another good one. Show a person with no arm.
Oh, boy.
Wait a minute, and it looks like their arm is in the hole, but then the next picture you see it's one arm, it's just a stub.
Yeah. Tears rolling down.
You know what, Eric? I love when inventive people come on the show, and I love supporting you. This is a great idea. Are any bars anywhere having clandestine, professional, paid-out money skee ball tournaments?
I just got back from Austin, Texas, where we just had the Brewski Ball National Championship. We call it the Beeb. It combines the sport of skee ball and a festival, and there's the national team tournament and also the individual tournament. The team tournament is called the World Mug. It's like the World Cup, and teams would die for their city on the skee ball lanes. And then there's the Rollers tournament, and the winner of the Rollers tournament won $3,000 and the distinctive cream jacket. And
you give out a cream-colored jacket for the winner.
Living the cream, man. Yep, absolutely.
Living the cream.
Yeah.
Living the cream. Wait a minute. No,
like living the dream.
You know, you guys have been laughing at my ideas about pictures of the handicapped, and this genius comes up with, what did you say, cream what?
It's the cream jacket. Goes to the number one skee ball player in the Bruniverse.
You mean a jacket that will be spilled on and stained and look like shit in a matter of days?
No.
You got to have like a dark jacket. The ball is black. The jacket should be black. Oh man, you need so much help.
Yeah. Ski the People.
Hold on a minute. Let's go to Scott of Minnesota. Yes, Scott, would you ever play skee ball for money? Would you ever go into a bar and play this brew skee ball?
I think it'd be fun than pool.
You'd be more fun than pool. Pool's hard.
Agreed.
In skee ball, here's another one. You can also be autistic and play skee ball. I just thought of that. Like, let's say you don't even say anything to anybody, and they hand you the skee ball. You know these autistic people, all of a sudden they throw them a ball, they can catch it? Yeah, it happens. I don't know how they do it. You throw them a ball, and they just can catch it in 2 seconds. What's that movie with Robert De Niro?
Awakening.
Oh, it's just like that.
Boom.
Just like Awakening. Throw them a what? We'll catch it like that. They can play skee ball. So, Scott, what would you call this new game so that it isn't skee ball? What would you call it?
Bar handball.
Bar handball. No, that doesn't have a ring to it. No, that doesn't sound right at all. You know what, Scott? What do you do for a living? What?
I think he drives for a living.
Scared him.
You know what? You know why? He was going to tell me what he did for a living, and I was going to say to him, you're doing the right thing because you're no good at anything else. All
Another
you
encouraging
have no
moment from Jay
imagination.
Thomas.
No, you have no imagination at all. If you thought of bar handball.
Right. The imagination lies with get no armed people to promote you.
He did mention pool.
I didn't say no armed people. You know what? You know what I liked about that? Pool is hard. You know what I'm saying? You have to kind of have skill. Skee ball, I'm sure there's a skill to it, but you can get lucky and win, right?
The beautiful thing about it is that anyone can do it, and with the right amount of practice and dedication, anyone could potentially win that cream jacket.
I wanted to
You
know
what else?
Wait,
What did I say?
once won a teddy bear.
Really?
I wanted to know, is there a sweet spot that you have to roll to get hundreds, to guarantee hundreds every time?
Hey, we have an expression in Brewski Ball. It's called "live by the hundo, die by the hundo."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so 100-point shots are pretty much used solely in desperation scenarios. The philosophy of the league is find the 40. The best of the best rollers can consistently sink 40s. There are 9 balls in a frame. So if you make all 9 in the 40, you get 360. We call that a full circle. But the best of the best, and those guys in Austin I was telling you about, they're rolling 50s predominantly now. And if you make 9 balls into a 50 for a 450, that's called a high five. And these guys are amazing. They're like robots on those lanes.
So the hundreds all the way at the top.
They're on the ends,
Right,
correct?
the top left and right for the 100-point shot. And yes, there's always, unless you're sinking them cleanly, which is very difficult to do, especially under pressure, typically there's a little bit of luck involved when hundos drop. And you don't want to be in a situation where you need hundreds, because then you're behind and you're trying to win in a late frame situation.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You talking about skee ball, and if it was in a bar, there wouldn't be enough money for me to put in the machine. It makes me want to play it because, I play Golden Tee at the bar, the golf game.
Oh, yeah.
And you almost have to know a little bit about golf or how to play it. I'm an okay pool player, but not the greatest. I can lose a lot of money. But skee ball, I could play for hours. And what I like about it is, you know how you meet these drunken sluts at the bar? Because I love drunken sluts. So I get this drunken slut at the bar, and and guys just want to take him home and try and screw him or get him in the car to go down on. Not me. I like to do something with them first, so that they act. So you treat them for a moment like they're humans before you just release yourself inside of them, right? And I would say, hey, let's play some skee ball, and she'll start having fun. And you're playing skee ball, and you go, man, you're so good, and you hug her, and you compliment her, and she feels as though you did something, so that when you take her back later and, work her over with your friends, or you get her in the car or whatever she's decided to allow you to do, it would only be done consensually, of course. She feels like she had a good time with you. And the next time you see her, you go, hey, skee ball queen, like that. She doesn't just feel like an old bar slut.
Are you on
know what I'm
pills
saying?
today? Did you take
I'm
anything?
not.
Out of it?
You know what's funny? I see the phones lighting up. I'm Brandon. Do I not sound normal?
Is it
I
just
feel
because
fine.
I'm the only girl in here?
Hold
and
on
there's
one
not a lot of
second.
guys,
Brandon.
I just feel very
Yes.
vulnerable right
Before
now?
we go back to Eric, you spoke to me about some technical stuff with Mike Church that we were dealing with before the show.
Yes.
Did I sound coherent and fine to you?
Yeah, but there was a 5-minute window when you were gone.
No, I didn't go and do anything. I have a cup of coffee, a chocolate milk, and a piece of chicken. Chocolate milk.
Eric, the acronym,
All right, well,
acronym on Twitter suggests the
Let's go
the
to
name beer hurling.
What's that again? Let's go to
hurling.
Hold on. What did you just say, Christina?
Eric, the acronym on Twitter suggests the name beer hurling.
Nobody would know what you're talking about.
Right.
Let's go to Tom of Arizona. Yes, Tom. What skee ball? These people are weird. What would you call it, Tom of Arizona?
Can't you just call it skeet ball with a T at the end? Because that's what I fucking thought it was called anyways.
All right, get rid of that idiot. He's hard of hearing. That's another person to add to your handicap, the hard of hearing. Now, here's the weird thing. Could you, with all these lawsuits and everything else, could you make a machine that's the same kind of thing and you call it, an Eric Pavoni machine, but it's the same game, or is that against the law?
I mean, but there lies the problem again. Nobody knows what an Eric Pavoni machine is. Like, hey, you want to go to the bar tonight and play some Eric Pavoni ball? I mean, Maybe people do.
Well,
but
If you use the
how about
handicap,
this?
They will.
Now, here's the way I do it. Here's the way I do it. You call it Eric Pavoni's balls. That's what you do. Now they go, you want to go play with Eric Pavoni's balls tonight at the bar?
Hashtag ski the people. I got to slip that in there.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is it copyright infringement or whatever it would be, you know, if you made a game that looked like a skee ball machine? Maybe it's not even feasible financially. What would happen then?
We're not in the manufacturing business. We are, you know, obsessed with this miraculous game of skee ball that we loved in our youth. And all we want to do is build this beautiful league around these games that we love. And that's exactly what we did. And we thought that it would be in the best interest of Skee Ball Inc. to have their games in new marketplaces, to have young, cool people playing them on a daily basis, tweeting about them, Facebooking about them. But, you know, and actually, I mean, that's exactly what he told us. He gave us his blessing, and then they came back and said that we can't call it Brewski Ball and we can't call it Skee Ball. So that's the dilemma. It's not about making the machines ourselves. It's about calling the game what the game is called. There's only one name for it. And, we have big plans.
Well, let's look at basketball. Wait, let's look at basketball. If you put up a basketball hoop in a bar and guys came in and for money, they would shoot whatever, they'd play horse or put out or whatever you want to do, or shoot free throws, and there was money paid. Could the net company or the ball company stop you from saying, come in and play money basketball? Could they stop you from that? Or is that just a generic name? I think you have to prove in federal court that skee ball is a generic name.
That's exactly
what your lawyers.
That's exactly what.
You know what? I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm an attorney, and I wish I was representing you. I just wish I was. The last guy I represented, it was in a minor car accident, and he got 8 years, and that kind of ruined our reputation. But it wasn't my fault. But anyway, we don't know why he got that much time. I have no idea. They said the jury just had a thing. And so that's the deal. But yeah, you've got to prove that that's generic.
Well, I mean, you just proved it right there. I mean, basketball, baseball, golf, hockey, pool, darts. Those are games that are exactly like skee ball. They're games that have generic names. They're called what they're called, and that's how people identify them. And skee ball has become, over the years, a diluted trademark to the point where now it's become generic. It's synonymous with the product and the service that it identifies. And that's what we're trying to prove. But we need the money to prove it, and that's why we started. You can go to skithepeople.com or you can go to rockethub.com/skithepeople and help fund this
Boy,
thing.
you love that Ski the People.
Hey, man, that's
He's got to get his money.
Yeah, you really do. It's like it may be a shitty term, but you're going to just use it. Yes, what is it, Ira?
Jay, after your show tonight, I am going to play skee ball.
Where are you going to play skee ball, Ira?
Maybe in Rye Playland.
Come to our bar.
By the way, be looking for Ira the Weatherman to be in handcuffs before the end of the evening at the amusement park. Shannon of Kentucky, what do you think we ought to call it when we put it in the bar? This is professional. It was skee ball. Now what would your name be for it?
Hey Jay, I got two suggestions. How about speedball or in the hole?
In the hole. Hey, let's go down and play some in the hole. Would you get rid of this guy, please? Yeah, get rid of him, please. In the hole.
Unbelievable, Jay. Get him off quick.
How about this one? In the hole, people. That doesn't even work.
No. Let it be
idiots.
Skee ball.
Let's go to Ben of Alabama.
I don't want it to be called
Ben, you
anything
say
else.
that skee ball changed your life. Please tell us your story. I feel like this is like chicken soup for the skee baller. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
No, I own a skee ball trailer. I own different vending trailers for carnivals and state fairs. But I have a 14-lane skee ball trailer. It's been dying the past couple of years, and then like 2-3 years ago, it seemed like everything's been picking up on it. I've been actually making more money with the trailer. It's brought it back to life. And I want to say thank you. You actually improved my business.
Thank you, man.
Hold on a minute. You have a trailer with 14. Oh, gee, this is incredible. You've got Eric. You got to call this. I love it. The trailer, the skee ball trailer with 14 lanes.
Genius.
Imagine how many handicapped people we could put there.
No, you know what, Brandon? let me do the jokes later, all right? If you don't mind. Thank you very much. I'll add the handicapped later, all right? I'll put it in when it's needed, okay? Not needed right now. I did it already, okay? I did the bit. It's over.
I liked it.
Okay? I know you did, and you keep bringing it up, okay? I hear you in the background yelling, yeah, that's good for one-footed people. So now, Eric, can we get you with the guy with the trailer, and you have mobile skee ball for a bar that doesn't want to spend the money to put the skee ball in the bar, but you have the tournament anyway?
Yeah, roll up to the parking lot?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And you put on either side of it those what do you call it? Those trucks, those food trucks.
Ooh,
you put a Mexican one in the back.
trucks?
Yeah, all this stuff
one...
is happening. It's happening already.
Yes.
There's a roller in our league, Joey the Cat. He just won the championship. Best skee baller in the country. He has himself a ton of skee ball lanes. He put one on a flatbed truck. He brings it to food carts in San Francisco. It's awesome.
Wow.
Well, since you're saving
you
Ben
need to hang up and
Alabama's
steal this idea immediately.
business, then he could repay you by going to Ski the People.
That's right.
.com?
So that Eric will sue you in federal
Support him.
court, okay, Ben?
No way. Skee ball for all. That's what we
All
believe.
right, see you later. Bye-bye. Well, look, this has been just exciting. Let me ask you, and this is a rhetorical question. Is there anyone listening or anybody in the studio or including myself or anyone anywhere, did you think when you woke up this morning that you'd be hearing about professional skee ball?
No.
I'll let you answer that off the air.
Never thought of it,
I
Jay.
booked it, so yeah.
No, I didn't either.
I knew.
Eric Pavoni, skithepeople.com, is that it?
Yeah, there you go. Or rockethub.com/ski-the-people. Thank you, Jay.
Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.
Let the good times roll.
Right, I know. You're into all those things. All right, it's the Jay Thomas Show.
Let the good times roll.
Yeah.
Let the good times roll.
We'll have a stripper on in a little while who somehow got a guy's Harry Potter collection.
Yep.
What else did she get from him?
And a laptop.
And a laptop, and he says, I didn't mean for her to keep it. Coming up
She's got
on the
a heart
Jay
of
Thomas
gold.
Show here at Howard 101.
Jay Thomas.
Would you mind repeating that, Jay? This is the Jay Thomas Show. Howard 101.
So since I said earlier we want to give you a little behind the scenes that happened, this guy, Eric Pavoni, comes in here with the skee ball thing, and I think it's funny, and I think it's a cool idea, but this guy's in federal court. And apparently, what did he say, Christina, after the interview?
Well, he's like, my lawyers might kill me for this.
My lawyers might kill me for this. Why? What did he say to you, Brandon? What did he say to you, Brandon?
No, he just said that in general, like as soon as it ended.
What? What did he say?
His lawyers are going to kill him, but at least you said most of the stuff.
His lawyers are going to kill him for what?
I don't know.
All he said was ski the people and we want to be in a bar. I'm the one that said there might need a little fire there in the skee ball office. Here's the weird thing. That is probably the most pussified Italian guy from Brooklyn I've ever talked to, ever. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Not only is he not full-blooded Italian. I'm not being awful. He's not full-blooded Italian. A real Italian guy, he's got more balls than he does. Ski the balls. That's it.
I don't know.
Ski the balls.
I don't even think he's Italian, Jake.
I don't either.
Looks like
he just made that.
He looks like
Puerto
Rican.
Puerto Rican.
Oh
all right.
I need Julie here so badly. Yeah. You are just.
You know what? It's the Jay Thomas Generalization Show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So listen. I said a lot of things, but I meant them. Skee ball is a lot of fun, and I meant that when I said, it's true. You're a handicap. When my leg is hurt, I can't do a lot of things, but I can go play skee ball. If I broke my arm.
You're not going to let this one go, are you?
No, I'm not. And you know why I'm doing this now? So that we have some audio of me semi-apologizing. If I had an autistic friend, which I might have one, you don't even know, and I didn't know, they said, well, Murray, That would be his name. My friend's name would be Murray. Murray doesn't ever do anything. He just sits and he stares out of the window. And I would say, would you let me take Murray down to a bar where there's skee ball? And the people would say, I don't know. Did you see the movie Awakenings with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams? Yes. Well, had they had skee ball in that hospital, that'd be a whole different life for those people. I bring Murray down there and he throws a skee ball.
Now you have imaginary
I meant everything I said.
Murray.
I certainly don't think a fire should start.
Okay.
I don't think a fire should start in the president of skee ball's office. But if one started
I think that's probably what he was mostly worried about.
If one started accidentally, and I read about it in the paper, because of this man, and I don't. When I disagree with someone on a position, he may have a very good reason, and I read in the paper that something has happened to you, and I disagree with you, I'm glad that something bad happened to you, because you can say all this, oh, my learned colleague. I love when they say that. Well, my learned colleague, meaning the opposition, he believes that the skee ball game should not be you. I read over the weekend that my learned colleague has flown off of a cliff and is no longer alive. Why would I be unhappy? I wouldn't be. How about everybody out there that's divorced? Maybe now, after a while, but when you're first getting divorced, if you read that your soon-to-be ex-wife or ex-husband died, wouldn't you be happy?
No.
Oh, stop it, Christina.
If he
maybe
if he
not
beat
now,
the
but
shit
when
out
you're
of
getting
me,
divorced.
No, not even then. If he would have beat me or, did something absolutely terrible, sure, I'd relish in it a little bit. But sometimes it's not so mean.
That's it. You may step down. I might be able to relish in it a little bit. That's it. It's over.
Yeah. If he was abusing me.
The answer was yes. No, not abusing you.
But if he was an abusive person, then I would take great pleasure.
All right. By the way, there's a new a drinking game out there. What is it called, Christina?
It's called Peter Dinklage.
It seems that I
are obsessed with Peter Dinklage.
I make unusual comments about Peter Dinklage, and
by the way, people are taking shots in this conversation right now.
Here's the weird thing about and listen. The Khaleesi lives right across the street from me. The Dragon Queen has moved in across the street, and she's renting the house from the newest cast member of Game of Thrones, Mikel Huis. And she just came to New Orleans and rented a home. She's doing the Terminator here. And she doesn't know she rented her co-star's house. I swear to God, she probably does now. She doesn't. Now, right across the street, I'm there, big Game of Thrones fan, waiting for her to come out. And as soon as she comes out, I have a wooden sword and a helmet. And I'm going to pull it out and go, Khaleesi, my queen. I'm going to do it. 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 I don't care if she calls the patrol. Okay?
You got to tape it. You got to video it. Please.
Did you ever see the University of Southern California marching band Trojans? They have those Trojan Roman helmets. Mm-hmm. I got one of those at a flea market, and I've had it for years just sitting in my house. I'm going to put it on, and I have a wooden sword. Yeah. I'm going to look like Winnie the Pooh. Didn't they have wooden swords? Those idiot hated that.
Winnie the Pooh.
And they spelled everything backwards. All right. But Peter Dinklage is now in a new movie.
Cheers, everybody.
And they showed him in the paper, and they put a wig on him. They put this wig on him, and he has a mustache and a tie, and I forget whether maybe it's something over at the Cannes Film Festival or whatever. And I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, there's no need for him to wear any costume at all.
Who?
I mean, what I'm saying is when he walks into the room, whether he has a crew cut, whether he has shoulder-length hair, whether he's dressed as a woman.
Wait, who are you talking about?
He's Peter Dinklage.
Drink, everybody.
Whether he's blackface, whether he's on crutches, whether he's on stilts. It will always be Peter Dinklage. There will be there's no like, wow, I wonder who, it's not like people went to the movies to Tropic Thunder and they went, who's playing the black guy? And they found, oh my God, that's Robert Downey Jr. Guess what? That'll never happen to Peter Dinklage. Ever. Ever. And so I'm looking at this picture And it's like he wants to get away from his Game of Thrones part, and do this movie so he can stretch a little bit. I am dying laughing. He wants to stretch. He's a wonderful guy. He's a brilliant actor. But when you're, if I was with him, someone would say, Jay, where's Peter? I go, oh, he's right down there. Right down there. I get that. Right down there. Yeah. Even if I was with him, I'd look around and go, where's Peter? Oh, there you are. Like that. He had this wig on, this ridiculous-looking wig and this mustache and glasses and a tie so that he looked different than his character in Game of Thrones. And I'm looking at this picture of the USA Today, and cereal is dribbling down my chin onto my shirt. I couldn't stop laughing.
I can picture that.
It isn't exactly Joaquin Phoenix in disguise. You know what I'm saying? Even though with Joaquin Phoenix, because he has that big hair lip scar, I know who he is no matter what his costume is, because he has the hair lip scar. He does. The hair lip scar. That's how I know his name. Hey, who's that actor with the hair lip? Joaquin Phoenix. There's an older actor, Stacy Keach. He had a hair lip, too. And so Joaquin Phoenix is taking over for Stacy Keach.
Oh.
All right, let's do some audio or video.
Quiet on the set, please. It's time for audio or video. We're rolling. And Mark.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
An exclusive feature only on the Jay Thomas Show.
Audio or video.
Right. Christine, did you ever get the audio I sent you of one of the stars of the Orange is the New Black?
I sent it to Brandon, yes.
Yep.
All right. I want to say something about this show first. This show is awful. And it's winning awards and everything else. And, I know I don't like Veep, and I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus is great. And I don't know who laughs at Veep. I have a lot of friends that say it's great. I've tried and tried and tried. It's just awful. I also thought good old Christine was awful, too. She's a wonderful and funny actress. And the movie she did with James Gandolfini, Enough Said, is fantastic. But for some reason, Veep is this phony sitcom-y show, in my opinion. So someone said, have you watched Orange is the New Black? And I said, that's the woman prison movie. And they go, yeah. So I did a little research on it. The woman that wrote the prison movie was once incarcerated for 8 months in a minimum security prison for helping her boyfriend with marijuana or something. Now, prison is prison. I know that. We have a lot of listeners here who have been in the big house, who have done county jails, and have done prisons. And I have friends that have done minimum security prisons. You don't have the Orange is the New Black experience at the minimum security prison. That show is like, it's all bad and, lesbianism and the guards are beating, all this crap, all this shit. I sat down and I thought, so it would be like, I went to the draft board and failed my physical and didn't get into the Marine Corps, right? But I really wanted to. But I spent one whole day being, checked over by the Marine Corps. I leave and I write a movie about being in the Marine Corps from my experience at the registration office. That's what it's like to be in a minimum security prison for 8 months and then write about prison. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you visit a dog washing place, and when you come back, you write a story about being a veterinarian. That's how stupid it is. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now, someone says, God, have you watched Orange is the New Black? Have you seen, and I don't know all the cast members. This is a real live transsexual who's one of the stars. Can we play? What's the star's name? What's their name?
Laverne Cox.
Laverne used to be what? Larry with a cock? Had a cock? So it used to be, listen, Laverne Cox. You can't make this up. You would imagine this on Comedy Central. If Comedy Central made a show about a woman's prison.
Laverne does like cocks.
Thank you. They would have a character, right or wrong, Brandon, a transsexual without a cock who had their cock cut off, and they would call the character Laverne Cox. That's the real person's name, right? That's the real person's name.
Yep.
So prior to this, it must have been Larry Have-a-Cox, right? Let's listen to the actress Laverne Cox talk about its role on Orange is the New Black with No Balls. Go ahead.
A lot of it is just about listening to transgender people and taking the lead from trans folks.
Yeah.
The reality is that I don't represent the entirety of the trans community. There's multiple experiences and multiple relationships to one's identity. And so it's really about listening to individuals in terms of how they define themselves and describe themselves and taking people at their word.
Brandon, how drunk would you have to be? How drunk would you have to be in a bar and think that was a woman vocally or even looking at them?
It would have to be more than alcohol.
When we look at the discrimination that transgender people
You'd have to be an autistic skee-ball player to think this is a
woman. With missing an eye.
In the LGBTQ community, it's highest among
Okay, take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Unbelievable. Laverne Cox. Now, how do you go to the set every day and before you start shooting go, do I have any scenes with Laverne Cox? That's how I would say it every day. Checking the script. You know what, Christina?
What?
Being a transsexual, if you're not going to look like a woman, don't do it. Don't do it.
I mean, she's doing
That's a guy.
her best.
That's a big, huge guy
So, what's
with
it to
a
you?
guy's voice.
And now,
It would be like, watch
now
this.
she is more comfortable in her own skin than she ever has been in her life. You're
I don't
the reason
believe.
Why? What do you mean?
I don't believe.
How would you even know? You've never experienced. You wake up every single morning and you say, "I'm going to take over the world today. I'm Jay Thomas. I'm going to conquer the world." There are people in this world that are uncomfortable in their own skin. They're not as lucky as you to be blessed.
You know what? When
as
I wake
Jay
up, that's
Thomas.
not what I'm thinking. I'm very depressed when I wake up.
You lie.
I don't think there's a meaning for life. A meaning in life. And do you know why I
And
don't
then
think there's a
5
meaning in
minutes later, you
life,
have a cup
Brandon?
of
You know
coffee and
why?
you're Why is that?
Brandon? Because I'm not as big as I want to be. Okay, so there's no meaning to life. Because when I wake up, I know I'm not the biggest thing in the world.
I thought
Okay,
you were talking about
and
your
it takes me
penis.
a few minutes to
You
scare
are the
my life
greatest,
away.
Jay.
Thank you. I wish you woke up with me every morning to hear that.
We can arrange that.
Laverne Cox
Right.
has a twin brother.
No, you mean Bobby has a Cox? What's Laverne Cox's twin brother's name?
Hold on.
Oh,
Jose
boy, you're the
Cox.
best. Jose Cox. Thank you. Oh, you're the best.
It doesn't say.
But what, they just say he was a twin brother. Oh,
Cox
can you
was
imagine?
born in Mobile, Alabama.
no.
She has a twin brother who portrays the pre-transitioning Sophia as Marcus in the show.
So the twin brother plays Marcus in flashbacks. That is fabulous.
Yeah.
So they hired the one that continued to have his penis, and he plays the flashback of Laverne, and then there's the real Laverne who doesn't have a penis. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Wow. By the way, they say that Sterling is finally going to sell the Clippers. And I hope that this woman, V. Stifiano, is I don't know why she turned in her meal ticket. But, Charlie Sheen will probably start dating her soon or whatever. But I think she's done, and she needs to give the money back. And she was on Dr. Phil, and he asked her why she wore that visor, which was like the weirdest thing. And then when I guess she was not skateboarding, but inline skating in front of everybody. This is a bona fide. Now, The word whore means that you take money for favors. It may not be sexual favors. But apparently this woman, to me, is the definition of a whore. Okay? Mm-hmm. She took money from this old fucker, whether she fucked him or not. She's at least a comfort whore. Okay? Mm-hmm. And here is this, and Dr. Phil really got her. I love this guy. Let's listen to Dr. Phil with the whore that caused all of the trouble.
I can really see what I felt, and that's why I wore the visor.
You say you were covering up the pain, and then I look at these pictures where, I mean, I live in Hollywood. I know how it works. I see you on roller skates in Daisy Duke cutoffs with a color-coordinated welder's mask to match your jacket out roller skating in front of the paparazzi. That doesn't look like pain to me. That looks like attention-getting behavior to me. I mean, you're roller skating in a welder's helmet in front of the paparazzi?
We all have different ways of coping. You live in Hollywood. You deal with Hollywood. So you tell me, how should I have acted? I was making light of the situation. You tell me, what would have been better for me to deal with? You tell me, since you know how things work, should I have been crying? Should I have stayed at home? Should I have been drinking? Should I have used drugs?
Should I have been on a skateboard?
What would have been better? I used the mask.
Skee ball?
I used the mask. I used the visor, as you called it, a welding mask.
What's weird about her is that, and I've said this a million times, you know, God works in wonderful ways. Most really good-looking guys are gay, which is great, and it opens the door for normal-looking people. There are a lot of really good-looking guys that aren't gay, but there's always something wrong with them. They have a thing, and you know, they're nice-looking, and then they're real stupid. There's a lot of stupid good-looking guys. Mm-hmm. And then these gorgeous women, most of them, except the ones that Fox hires, are really stupid. And God gives you like a great body, but makes you not bright because you didn't have to study because the teachers passed you because you were cute, right? And the ones on Fox that are really beautiful that became attorneys, they're so right-wing and Christian, they're boring, so that ruins it too. This V. Stifiano is gorgeous. Her body is unbelievable. And she's dumb in like 2 languages, right?
Yep.
She's speaking English, but there's another language. It's almost like a radio station you can't quite tune in, and there's another station trying to come in. Like if I was talking, and what my talking was coming out. Yeah, so another language is trying to come in. She sounded so fucking stupid. But Phil was great, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
No,
yeah.
I love when they call you out. Right there for everybody to see. And then, you know, she's like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to hide forever?
Right. Now, Jimmy Kimmel, who no one even talks about, he's getting smashed in the ratings by Jimmy Fallon, right, Christina? He's just getting crushed. And he's nice and all that, but for some reason, everybody's watching Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, but everybody was watching Jimmy Kimmel when he changed his time over. And,
right.
Oh, well, Arsenio Hall has a great show also, Jay.
Yeah, we know that's your favorite.
Really?
That's his
favorite.
Really?
He had.
You know what the name of the show is? Arsenio is the New Black.
Yeah, but Jay, listen,
Hello?
he had a good group the other night.
I got it.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Wow. So Ira the Weatherman is tuning in to Arsenio Hall. This is Jimmy Kimmel. He went on the street and he found people, believe it or not, that thought Godzilla was an actual event.
I love this bit so much because
it is a good bit.
Sometimes makes me feel smarter than I, you know.
Well,
sometimes
he actually picked some ethnicities that I think was kind of rude, and it was his way of saying this group of individuals is not so bright. But he's got his own show on national TV. Who am I to speak? Let's listen to Jimmy Kimmel find people that think Godzilla was a real person, a real entity.
And that's on top of $103 million it made internationally. It's yet another in a string of successes for Hollywood's current strategy of never, ever having an original idea again. Needless to say, Warner Brothers, they're already working on a Godzilla sequel. In this one, Godzilla organizes a dance competition to save the local community rec center. Yeah. Since America has Godzilla on the brain, though, I thought it would be fun to use that as a topic for a round of Live Witness News. So we went on a Hollywood Boulevard this afternoon and insinuated that Godzilla is based on an actual event. We asked people this question. We asked, considering Godzilla is based on a true story of the giant lizard attack on Tokyo that killed more than 100,000 people in 1954, do you think it's wrong that Hollywood glamorizes this for entertainment? And I will admit, not too many people bid on this one, but some of them did. So a few of them actually did believe that Godzilla happened, and here they are in a special Godzilla-themed edition of Live Witness News.
Considering Godzilla is based on the true story of a giant lizard attack on Tokyo that killed more than 100,000 people in 1954, do you think it is wrong of Hollywood to glamorize this event for entertainment value?
I think it is. I mean, if it affects the people that were affected, and then there's the people who, passed away during that time. So it's kind of like they're glamorizing their death. Instead of making a really cool action movie, it's more so kind of disrespectful to the people, that had died and their families. So.
Do you think it is wrong that Hollywood glamorizes this event for entertainment purposes?
Yes, because it's a travesty. It portrays death, sadness, loss. Hollywood glamorizes a lot of things that just shouldn't be, because maybe what really happened isn't properly portrayed, and it can probably disrespect some folks out there. So.
Do you support the bill before Congress that would allocate $600 million to equip the U.S. Navy with anti-reptile capabilities?
Yes.
How come?
Because anything that we can do to protect our nation, we got to do.
So do you feel like a
Godzilla
attacking again is a real possibility?
That's the man upstairs.
Do you believe these creatures are caused by global warming?
Actually, I do. Like global warming, pollution, we don't know. There's so many mysteries under the sea, a Loch Ness Monster, like big animal, I think it's Bigfoot, things like that. They all exist, but we just can't see it. The human eye can't see it.
Considering Godzilla is based on the true story of a giant lizard attack in Tokyo, where more than 100,000 people died in 1954, do you think it is wrong that Hollywood glamorizes this event for entertainment value?
Is Godzilla real? Then I guess so, because, if he hurt a lot of people, why would he want to do that, and why would they want to make it seem, real and stuff, and, nice?
Are you worried about a Godzilla attack?
Aren't they extinct?
Well, there was an attack in Cloverfield in 2008.
I thought, wait, is Godzilla like a dinosaur?
Jimmy Kimmel actually brought that woman in to the studio.
It's still on. It's there.
Oh, is she there?
Yeah, she's in the
Here, watch
studio.
her call.
Oh, this is great. Oh, this is the best.
She's white, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
You know there's no Godzilla, right?
Yeah, now I do.
But you realize the funny thing is, there really was a Godzilla. You did know that, right?
No.
No, there's no Godzilla. There was never a Godzilla.
I Googled it.
Oh, you did Google it?
Yeah.
What words did you type into the phone?
Is Godzilla real?
Oh, man, that's brilliant. That's fun. I love him. I went on his show a few years ago, and I did not do well. And I felt badly about it, because I'm a big fan of his. He was really nice to me, and I tried my best. And I don't know what it was. And Donald Trump's daughter was on the show. She was really nice, too. And I think there was a singing group or something on there that a lot of young people were there to see. And so I was like, some fossil that landed from outer space onto the desk. And, he never invited me back, but I like him. He's funny. That's a funny bit.
Maybe
all right.
you can have a career with him now, throwing, a football at an Easter
over.
Bunny or something.
Yeah, what is it, Ira?
Jay,
What is it?
last night I was watching a beautiful picture, the Mohegans.
Right, the last of the Mohegans.
That is right. What a picture.
Was it the old one, or was it the one with Daniel Day-Lewis?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
He plays the angry Indian.
Oh, my God, Jay.
Hey, you want to hear something else, Brandon?
What's that?
The guy from My Left Foot would be very good at skee ball.
Oh, he'd be amazing.
Did you ever see that movie?
I know about it, though. No, I haven't seen it.
He's all twisted. It's all twisted. The only thing he can move is his left foot. That's it.
I rate the Mohegans number 10.
Just get
Number
Eric
10.
the actor to play.
Yeah. Now, I know we have to break, but I do want to say that people, some have asked what's happening with Letterman retiring. I believe the last show will be the Christmas show, I think. For him, for me, for whatever. And as far as I know, I'm going to throw the football. And I was contacted by Clayton Moore's daughter, who was the
Maybe
the man
you
that played.
should throw it to his head.
Yeah, that'd be a nice way to end it. Just hit Letterman in the head with a bullet.
That's right,
That'd be fun.
Jay.
All right. Here's what's funny about Letterman. And I don't know the man personally, and it'll all be in the book I write. The guy that knocked the meatball off the Christmas tree. I know it's a long title, but it explains who I am. The thing about
I
him
have
is,
a song for him, Jay. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go.
okay, listen.
Good
hold
night,
it. Hey,
sweetheart.
Ski Ball.
Well, it's
Hey, Ski
time
Hit. Should I
to
finish
go.
my thought for 1 second, please? Jesus. All right. So where was it? People go, how come you never finish a story? Because I can't fucking finish a story with the idiots that work with me. You know, we're going to call, you know what we're going to call this show? Pardon the Interruption. Is that taken?
Yeah, they already got that.
Yes, they already got that one? All right.
I like our old
Well, anyway,
tagline, for idiots.
What was I
by
talking about?
idiots.
Oh, so I want you to play the David Letterman with Barbara Walters, and the only reason why I want you to play this is what's so weird is that as he's gotten older, it's time to retire or whatever, and I don't think he'll do anything. I think he'll be just miserable retired. And I don't think he'll do specials or come back or do anything. I don't know what he'll do. I don't even think he has hobbies. He has cars. They all have cars. Seinfeld has cars, and Letterman has cars, and Leno has cars. People have cars. What do you fucking do? You have these cars in a big, like a hangar. Who gives a shit? Oh, look, I have a Dusseldorf. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Oh, look, I have a 48 Thunderbird. Who gives a shit?
Do you collect anything?
Don't drive it, because it won't be worth anything if you get a rock in the tire. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Those are the original tires. Really? Is that why they're bald? So he's now apologizing for stuff he did on the show. And let's listen to David Letterman. I know it's long, but you'll hear it's the real. You'll hear him being real, won't you, Brandon? You actually hear him not being funny. And this is the David Letterman that I know away from the microphone. Not funny, doesn't act silly. And if you say something silly, which I act silly all the time, he doesn't get it. And here's him apologizing for jokes he's told to Barbara Walters.
Like Monica Lewinsky has resurfaced. Now, right?
Very serious face from the audience
You
last.
in a second, right?
I have always felt that Monica, I like Monica, and I felt that she's never had the chance to move on.
Right.
And I hope that she does. I hope she's given.
You know, when she came back and there was an interview or an article about her or something,
Yeah, and Vanity Fair.
said she can't get a job, and then now I started to feel bad because myself and other people with shows like this made relentless jokes about the poor woman, and she was a kid. She was 21, 22 or something.
40 now. It's hard to believe.
So I'm thinking, oh Lord, it's sort of like that violence in the elevator. Is it funny because they're just famous, or overall with some perspective, do you realize, this is a sad human situation?
It is, and as I said, you know, President Clinton has been able to move on. Hillary Clinton may run for president. I wish them both well. Monica is still stuck in the humor of it, and she is an intelligent and nice woman. I interviewed her years ago, and the last question I said is, what will you tell your children? And she said, Mommy made a big mistake. And that's still haunting her.
Well, I mean, but being human, let's just say it wasn't the president. Let's just say she was working at Dairy Queen. And I don't mean that to be honest, I'm not being funny, but let's just say the same thing happened to Dairy Queen. Would she then tell her kids that it was a big mistake? Or would she just say, oh, for God's sakes, I was 22 and 22-year-olds are irresponsible and on and on and on?
I've never heard her say it's just that I was young. Maybe that's because that's what a lot of us feel. You know, she was a kid. But she has been ridiculed now for all these years. Right. And she is an intelligent woman. I wish her well. Let her get a job that helps with the kind of experience she's had. And let's Turn that page.
Yes, but now she says she's been unable to work. Do you believe that she has so badly been tainted by this that people don't even want her, pick a company?
Maybe that people will laugh and look. Could she drive a taxi if she could drive? Yeah. Could she get a job behind a counter? Yes. But the kind of job I think that she wants to get, she went to the London School of Economics, she has not gotten because people think, oh, you hire money.
Okay, I've heard enough. Everybody heard enough? We heard it all? We heard it all? Yeah. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I guess you can look at Michael Richards or you can look at Don Imus, right? For some reason, there are things that certain celebrities do that they'll never be able to get out. There's certain people, like George Zimmerman. I was thinking the other day that Hannity and Rush Limbaugh and all of there are a lot of mostly right-wing people backed this guy. The governor of Florida said it was his right to carry a gun and everything else. Well, this guy was always and is now, this wannabe security guard, not even a security guard, wannabe cop or whatever. What he did was totally stupid, totally wrong,
and
I believe he was.
Man, Jay.
He was a stupid man. Monica Lewinsky, no one remembers this. When this scandal broke,
hugging the president.
No, not hugging. She sucked on him. She sucked on the president.
What do you expect?
And she let the president put a cigar in her butthole. How do you feel about her now?
Well,
that's how I feel.
Everybody does mistakes. Everybody.
Right. Now, okay, hold on a second. No one remembers this, and I'm going to go back and find this if it's the last thing I find. In the middle of all of this stuff about who she was and everything else, she was known to be one of those girls, or this was reported, and I'm saying alleged, to be one of these girls that gave guys head or enjoyed to be around people that were more powerful than she was. And I remember this press conference, and I remember thinking, why is this guy doing it? And Christina, maybe you can find this somewhere online. It was a professor from a school in the West, like in Oregon or Washington. He comes up to the podium, and he has his wife with him. And he says, during this thing with Monica Lewinsky being accused and all this kind of stuff with the president, and he says that he had a relationship with her, and he considered her predatory. And I remember watching this thing going, one, why is this guy saying this, and what's the reason for it? I never heard from this guy again, never saw it again. Maybe I dreamed it. I don't know. Monica Lewinsky, when you see that picture of her in the kind of the beret looking at the president, you know that famous picture,
yes.
Christina, when the president's speaking?
Yes.
You can see in her eyes what every guy has seen from a woman that's trouble. Brandon, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You mean a woman that likes...
No, no, you know what? You're going to have sex with her. Mm-hmm. And you're going to use her, and she's fabulous, and she's going to do great stuff to you, but you're never going to be with her, ever, in a million years. Whether you're the president,
but she yearns
whether you're
for it badly.
Well, it's power to her. It's power to her, right? Mm-hmm. And so, also, she didn't have to say that she did anything with the president. That crazy woman, Linda Tripp, was so nuts that all Monica Lewinsky had to say was, look, I know Linda Tripp was like a plant by the Republicans, which she was. She was a person that really didn't care for Clinton anyway. And she said, so I played along with her and made her believe things were happening that weren't to make fun of her. That's all she had to say. And I believe I heard her say that her parents told her to tell the truth, which was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So now Monica Lewinsky can't get a job. I saw her walking down the street in a section of California, of L.A. called Larchmont. Uh-huh. I saw her from a block away. She had this red lipstick on. Mm-hmm. Her lips jumped from her, and I didn't know it was Monica Lewinsky. I turned to this friend of mine and I said, my God, look at that. Well, look at her mouth. It's unbelievable. And when she walked by, my friend said, that's Monica Lewinsky. And sure enough, it was. It's sad, but she was just made for blowjobs.
A lot of your politicians, Jay.
Yes.
They screw around. How about Spencer? Spencer's another jerk.
He never even got laid.
Well,
he showed that
he
ridiculous chest of his. Can I talk now, please? So Monica Lewinsky, it's not about being forgiven. It's she orchestrated it. She wanted it to happen. She knew it was she knew it could be trouble, and she did it anyway. So to me, Monica Lewinsky got exactly what she asked for. And this is the deal. How Bill Clinton got out of it was fabulous. It didn't happen. That's all Monica Lewinsky had to say. It didn't happen. Bill Clinton, it's like the guy in that old movie, Everything You Want to Know About Sex, but We're Afraid to Ask. Mm-hmm. A wife comes in, and the guy, it was Joey Bishop, the old comic, he's in bed with a beautiful young woman. And the wife comes in and goes, oh, my God. Oh, my God. He gets up. The girl gets up. The wife is screaming. She's crying. You've got a woman. You're with a woman. They both get dressed.
Right.
The beautiful woman gets dressed. They make the bed in front of the screaming wife, and the beautiful woman leaves, and Joey Bishop walks around, goes into the living room, sits down, and opens the newspaper. And when the wife asked him to explain, he goes, what are you talking about? What woman? What are you talking about? Yeah. Deny. That's all. Roger Clemens. Brandon, do you think he took steroids?
Yeah, 100%.
Has he ever said he's taken steroids?
I don't remember, but...
No, he said no. He said no. And he said no every time he was asked. He said no. That's it. And you can believe it or not believe it or whatever, but he said no. And so he's on television shows. He'll write a book, everything. John of Tampa, don't you totally 100% agree with my estimation of Monica Lewinsky and her ilk? Don't you believe in this, what I'm saying?
No, I don't even think you think before you speak. What you're saying is asinine. First of all, I want to back up and talk about...
Wait a second. What I'm saying is asinine. You see, when I come over here to Howard 101, I expect the same respect that Howard gets with his stupid comments.
Well, no, that's different. You're not Howard Stern.
Oh, okay.
Howard Stern could say what he wants to say. You can't, my friend. But I want to...
I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to say that. What I say, even though I say something brilliant, it's asinine to you.
It is asinine. What you said, first of all, let's back up and talk about, okay, the guy that shot the black guy. First off there, George Zimmerman. The backing of him, that case was a particular case. We're not backing the individual, we're backing the right, what happened was right or wrong.
The right for an asshole to shoot a kid wearing a hoodie even though it was raining. You mean that right?
The right that the man defended himself because somebody...
Oh, he didn't defend himself. Is that why you're not calling up Monica Lewinsky?
Well,
you're one of those gun assholes. No. George Zimmerman is exactly why you should want guys like that not to have guns. And you know what? I don't know you, but I wouldn't want you to have a fucking gun for 1 minute because there's something wrong with you. You're a dickless chicken shit who needs a weapon. You know how I feel about it? If you can't beat somebody with your fists, don't get a gun, you chicken shit, okay?
Well, here's the thing. I could beat you with my fist.
What's that?
Not always my fist. But
fine. That's fine. And come on. That's fine. But tell me that you need a gun to defend yourself against me. You're just a dickless chicken shit. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. I thought I had a brilliant point. The guy calls me asinine. Ruined my whole day. We'll be right back.
So what's your name? Jay Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. This is the Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Howard 101.
We were supposed to have this stripper on, right? And what I love about them is they're wholly undependable. And, of course, Christina has the stripper called in to be on the air for her prescribed time.
Hi, sorry about that. I can't get
Of course you
stripper
can't.
got lost. She's stripping her
with her
clothes
this
off.
morning.
No, they're idiots. They're idiots,
Spoke
Christina.
with
That's
her
why.
this morning, and now she's just not coming through.
Because she's
Right.
She's out
Because
getting
she's a stripper.
laid.
Well,
No, she's not. You know what, Ira? Quit thinking of things.
Well, that's what a stripper is.
No, it
She's not
isn't. She's
here.
not getting laid.
It's a prostitute.
No, they're undependable. They're idiots.
Apparently,
they always
yeah,
will be.
you know.
Yeah, always. That's
I
fine.
had higher hopes
That's fine.
for her, though.
Well, she'll come back. I know you're saying how great she was, and
Yeah,
I'm
I had a
thinking,
great.
you know,
I had 2 great conversations with her. I'm really disappointed. I felt like we were
yeah,
friends
that's the
at
problem.
This point.
These,
She
you
could
know,
be sleeping.
Probably.
you meet a stripper, and then you realize who they really are and why they're a stripper.
Yeah,
You can't be friends. You can't be friends with a stripper.
I guess
You can't
I'm
be-
feeling
yeah.
exactly what Robert Wallace was feeling.
Right, her boyfriend
Maybe she's in a
who says
stripper
that
mall.
she stole his Harry Potter collection.
Yeah.
Think about that guy. Let's go to, I don't know, you know what, the last guy was an idiot. I mean, you know. Let's go to Tony, who's in Rhode Island. Yes, Tony,
How you
go
doing,
ahead.
Tony?
Go ahead, Tony.
Tony, are you having a good day today?
Hey, Ira, shut the fuck up. I called Jet.
Thank you very much,
is
Tony.
Is that nice, Tony?
Yeah, you know what, Tony? I couldn't have said it better myself. Ira, be quiet.
Oh, shit.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Tony.
It's like, let me ask you a question, Jay. Why do you drag Ira over to this show when Kevin Meaney, thank Christ, gets left behind?
I can't answer any of those questions, Tony. Is that why you called? Really?
No, I actually called about Peter.
Well, please, talk about Peter who?
Peter and his dinklage.
All right. Yeah, I don't need your other comments, okay, Tony?
Oh.
I can't help you with programming decisions. So, you know, I can't help you whatever you do for a living, so don't try and help me. Thanks.
Jay, I'm really not trying to help. I really wanted to talk about Peter and his little dinklage. Your friend.
Well, you know what? Get rid of this guy. Get rid of this ass.
Get him off.
I felt it,
Get
too.
rid of him.
Get him off.
I felt it.
You know
too.
what? You can always. Is it a holiday weekend or something?
No, it is not. Last weekend was Memorial
Last
Day
weekend was a holiday? Because really it's like the bottom of the barrel.
Maybe you're going on the Holiday Road Show.
No, we're not. You know what, Christina? He's got to leave the room. He's got to get out. I can't take him. So escort him into the hall. It's over. And don't do all this. I feel sorry for him. Get him in the hall. He's done. He's finished. All right?
Yes, Jay.
He said the stripper was getting laid. Strippers don't get laid, do they, Brandon? We know that. No matter how much money you give them, they don't get laid. I've seen guys give like hundreds to them, and nothing happens. You know, they offer you give them $100, and they go, "I'll pull my G-string away from my butthole." Oh, thanks.
When I was in Canada, I was at a strip club, and the women,
Really?
yeah, the women were having sex with each other on like this rotating,
Yeah.
smorgasbord kind of thing, and
Wow.
and for $20 American, you could go
Yeah.
into the room and watch them do it.
Now I'll tell you
Canada
what.
knows how to party, I guess.
When I would bring a woman to a strip club, the strippers were always more interested in the woman and having fun with the woman than any guy in the place.
Yeah, that's good marketing. That's how you
Oh,
sell
no,
yourself.
but they were.
Yeah, I
They-
know,
no,
but
but
you're
they
willing
they
to give her as much money as possible because now she's
No,
on your
no.
baby.
It's not about the money. It's about they really enjoyed. It's like strippers, porno stars, and everything else. Deep down inside, who knows why they hate men? I don't know what that is. But
Who fucked you up? Tell me.
Exactly. It's weird. And how do you watch? Look,
It's my
a
favorite
guy
J
hits
line
me.
ever.
I'm a kid. I'm a little kid, and my father's terrible or whatever, and he hits me in the back with a 2x4 to punish me, and it hurts. I do something else, and he hits me in the back with a 2x4. After my father is gone, after I've grown up, I want to be hit with a 2x4 in the back. That's what I don't get. They are abused by these guys, and then they get into the sex trade. I don't understand it. I would not want to be hit in the back with a 2x4 once that was over.
Right.
That was,
Yeah,
what I
I
don't
don't
get,
remember
and I don't
that either.
understand the psyche of humans. We are attracted to the horrors that every movie you see, somebody is beaten or kicked or whatever, and then they're doing this thing because they were beaten or kicked. I don't know. They're beating and kicking people. Mm-hmm. Most domestic violence guys, their kids have a better than 50% chance of either wanting to be with someone who is violent or becoming violent themselves. Alcoholics, they hated their dad or their mom being an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. They become an alcoholic.
Right.
And they say how great humans are. We're idiots. Here's the way it works. You stub your toe. You don't go back and ram your foot into the edge of the table again to feel the same feeling again. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Now, you hit me with a 2x4. You rape me. I don't do that again when I get out. I'm like against it. And I hunt down people that do that, and I burn them. Hold on a minute. Ah! No! And then I make them play skee ball in a bar. Hello. All right, here we go. Let's go to Andre about Vermont. Yes, Andre, go ahead.
Hi, how you doing, man? Hello?
Andre, let me ask you, does this sound like fire? Hold on a second, Andre, listen. Does that sound like fire? How about this? Ah, I'm on fire! Does that sound like fire to you, Andre? Because I'm doing that sound effect myself. All right, thank you. Andre, what can we do for you? Yeah, go ahead, Andre. You keep saying hello. Are you hard of hearing? You'd be good at skee ball. Go ahead, Andre.
Yeah. No, I called a couple of times last week. I actually cussed you out about something. But you know what? I actually agree with you on the whole gun violence crap. People that have guns, use guns, are fucking pussies. They can't fight for themselves, so they decide to go out and get a gun and act like they hardcore. Especially these motherfuckers in the hood and shit right here. Over here in the Bronx.
That's right.
In Brooklyn. Fucking pussies. Blood Crips, pussies. They can't do shit without a fucking gun. Pussies.
Let me go back to the Old West really fast. Where, by the way, if you go back to the Old West, Andre, you're going to find that 1 in 7 cowboys was black. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, actually.
The West had more blacks, and I'll tell you why. They would leave the South, which was, had slavery, and they wouldn't go north. They would go west. And in the West, they didn't have slavery, and they would become cowboys. And it's so funny that in the cowboy movies that we saw as kids, there weren't any black people, except if it was going to be a comedy or something. But if you look back at pictures, there were lots of black cowboys back in the 1870s, 1880s. I'm not kidding you. It's the truth. Now listen to this one. In every cowboy movie, when the ranch hands came to town, or the guys driving the cattle, what is the first thing the sheriff said to the guys riding into town about their guns? Do you remember this, Andre?
Actually, no, I'm probably too young to remember that, man.
They would have them turn their guns into the sheriff's office.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
But
now, Brandon, did you know that?
No, I was trying to figure it out.
In the days of sheriffs, they didn't want a bunch of drunken cowboys shooting up the town, and they would kill people. Right? They'd shoot off their guns and all that. They'd make them take their guns off. They'd check them at the sheriff's office. And this went forever in, Dodge City, in Texas, a lot of places. And the other thing from the movies is this. How many times have you heard a guy in a movie say, I bet you if you didn't have that gun, you wouldn't be so tough? Right or wrong? Have you heard that one?
That's true. And they usually take off the gun and duke it out or something, right? For a little while.
Exactly.
Well,
how about a little skinny guy has a gun on you and he's threatening you and all of that, and the first thing the tough guy in the movie says, you wouldn't be so tough if you didn't have that gun. Right? First thing they say. A gun almost ensures that you are a chicken shit. You are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Exactly. And another thing that sort of pisses me off about the whole thing is, like, I'm a black man, and it pisses me off when I see other black people picking up for people that are actually gang members. The police beat them up. There's police brutality. But this is the same guy that robbed and killed or either beat the shit out of somebody a week ago, and is out on parole and is doing the same exact shit over and over again. Sometimes the police...
Wait, are you talking about the cops in L.A. arrested a kid and they threw him against the glass, and Al Sharpton flew to California, and the kid was thrown against the glass while he was being handcuffed, and he cut his quiet. Get him out, Christina. Get him out of the studio. Get him out of the studio.
He was
Christina.
talking into the wire.
I don't care. Get him out. And Al Sharpton flew there, and I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking that kid was a gang member who had robbed people when they arrested him. You're exactly correct.
Yep. And it just pisses me off. I'm like, really? I'm like,
with
come
you.
on, man. This is some bullshit.
You know what? I wish you and I were roommates and we were doing a sitcom. It's the Andre and Jay Show. You see stuff in the movie. I'm going to ask you a question. Andre, on the weekends,
what's up, man?
In every beer commercial and in every one of these sitcoms and every one of these shows, guys go to somebody's house on the weekend, they're watching a ball game, and they always have a black friend with them. How many times on the weekends do you go to a white guy's house and you're the only black guy watching a ball game? How often does that happen?
This is such a good question.
How many times did it happen last year?
None.
Ah, he's not a token.
Every beer commercial, every Applebee's, it's always two white guys and their black friend at the Applebee's. You could go into Applebee's for the next 5 years, or an Asian, right? And you're not going to see a multicultural group of individuals watching a ball game together. No, having a Budweiser.
That's how they shoot the school programs too. When you get to
sharing a
school
sampler.
Program.
And you know what's funny? It's more of an insult to black people. It's like, oh, you mean you need to have like a token, black person in the thing. They ought to have 4 black guys with one really odd white guy hanging with them.
You know what, man? You absolutely right, bro.
When's the last time you saw that in a commercial? How about one of those ads in the magazines for clothing? They'll show like a black guy and then 6 white gay guys all dressed in some outfits that no man would ever wear. Why don't they have 5 black guys and then 1 gay white guy dancing with them in the rain to show off these, shoes that they bought, in Esquire magazine or something? All right. Andre, thank you.
Man.
Thank you very much, Andre. Thank you. There are a lot of people calling about the Monica Lewinsky thing, and I have another thing, and it's sad, and Christina, you know this. There are just certain women, some of them are porn stars, some of them are sex objects, and there's men that just were made for what happened to them.
Right.
She was made to be able to be very sexy, to take a cigar in her ass, and to really know how to perform fellatio on the male member.
You think
every
she was
guy
made to get a cigar in her ass?
She was. And you can't, I've been with a lot of women. I don't know one woman that thought it was okay to put a cigar in their ass, ever. I've been around a long time.
You're hanging out with the wrong women, my friend.
Right. I don't know who to go to next. I'm going to be called the fucking moron or asinine. Or, I don't know who to go to.
Let's go to Shawnee in Boston.
I don't know if I can take the stuttering today. No, I can't take the stuttering. I can't take it. But you know what? He'd be a good skee ball player. Shawnee of Boston. Hello, Shawnee. Yeah.
I have an update on the stripper.
Yeah.
She's in a bar right now, letting men throw ski balls into her pussy.
All right, get rid of him. Get rid of Shawnee.
Have a good weekend.
No, shut up. Is that Captain Parks? Is that your name? Captain Parks of Staten Island? Is that what you call you? What is it?
Hey, Jay, listen. Why do you always kick Ira off? I think he's funny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hold on a minute. Hold on one second. Captain Parks. Captain Parks, do you know why you think Ira is funny? Do you know why?
Why? Because you make him funny.
No, because you sound just like him, okay? Yeah. I tell you what.
I do, but...
Ira is not always on the show, I want you to come in next week, and I want you to come on the air and say you're Ira, and I bet you no one. Christina, put him on hold. Book the guy into the show.
Okay.
And he'll play Ira when Ira's not around, all right?
All right.
On one of the Jewish holidays. All right. Sounds exactly like him. Yeah, we have a stand-in now for Ira. All right?
All right.
All right.
All right, Jay.
And finally, let's go to Jim of Long Island. Yes, Jim. Go ahead. What do you do for a living, Jim? What's your line of work?
I work on boats, Jay.
You work on boats. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Go ahead.
Install electronics and do electrical work and all sorts
Really?
of stuff.
You know what? I tell you what, I'm going to take your call off the air. It sounds so exciting. I just want to do it myself, and we'll be right back.
Jay Thomas. Would you mind repeating that, Jay? This is the Jay Thomas Show. Out 101.
I feel like picking the phone up and a guy goes, "Hey, Jay." I go, "Yeah, hi. Man, I think you're great." "Well, thanks." You know, that's what that guy with Ira was like. By the way, thank you, Christina. We did find from Portland, Oregon, from January the 29th, what year is this? 1998. I knew I wasn't dreaming. It was Portland, Oregon. Monica Lewinsky's, and I'm reading this out of the Register News from Toledo, Ohio. Monica Lewinsky's former high school drama teacher stood on the front lawn of his home in Portland, Oregon, with his wife and his attorney, and had this press conference to announce that he had a 5-year sexual affair with Monica Lewinsky, and that she bragged about having a sexual relationship with a high-ranking White House official. The guy's name is Andy Bieler, B-I-E-L-I-E, or L-E-T, Bielet? I don't know. How do you say
E-R, I think.
Yeah, it's
Bieler?
B-L-E-I-L-E-R. He was 32.
He said his affair with the big-assed intern and the large-lipped, the lusciously lipped intern. I'm adding those.
No kidding.
After she graduated from Beverly Hills High School, continued the 2 years that she attended Lewis and Clark College, which is this ridiculous liberal arts school in Portland where you learn how to smoke dope and maybe like climb a compost pile. I don't know what your degree's worth once you get out. My kids looked at it. I said to my wife, what are they going to learn here? You would think named for Lewis and Clark, at least you'd have, they'd be like geography would be a big,
Right.
No geography.
None of it.
He's a theater technician at another school in Vancouver. A 4-year-old son, a 10-year-old daughter, and his lawyer did most of the talking, said he and the Blyers were inclined not to believe Ms. Lewinsky in general because they consider her untruthful. I don't know what that was about, but I'm glad you found it. Thank you. She was an asshole as a kid, and she knew she could use those fabulous lips and that incredible
DSL.
You know what? She doesn't have an asshole on her. She has a cohiba opening.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Ira. I think